Many foreigners who are working in Japan or working with Japanese people feel so disconnected. And this is because there are a lot of hidden rules, communication rules, or certain things you do want to talk and certain things you don't want to talk with Japanese people, and also the vocabulary. Okay, so I kind of want to tackle this problem today because I have so many people that come to me. A lot of people say that they just feel disconnected. They want this connection. With Japanese people. Okay, so let's just dive in. All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk about how to start engaging with people. Okay, number two, how deep you can dive, right? So diving deeper, but like until which part you can talk about, and from this point on, you cannot. That's type of thing, right? And number three, kind of the soft skills for maintaining a conversation. So you don't want to just ask things and just end the conversation there. There's soft skills like nodding or asking questions that can actually maintain a good relationship and conversation. All right, and by the way, guys, my name is Sean Naren. I'm a interpreter here in Japan, and what I do on YouTube is I help people build their career in Japan. Okay, so let's get started. So number one, how to actually start a conversation if you feel just disconnected. Okay, first, start with things that start with what I like to call cushion words. For example, just like in English you would say by the way, before you start a conversation, and instead of just diving into the topic, right? You don't just knock on the door and say hello. You say, yeah, by the way, right? Or man, I was wondering if, with coworkers you can use these cushion words. Okay, and what does this look like in Japanese? For by the way, this becomes soieba. Okay. And for I was wondering, this one because 思ったんですけど. Okay, these are two very important topics, very important words that you can use when it comes to starting a conversation. Okay, now how do you actually use these words in a sentence, right? So you can't just say these two words. You don't want to just say by the way and end there. How do we use them, right? そういえば仕事どうですか? If there's a person you like at work, and especially if this person is new, this is something you can say. It means, by the way, how's work been going, right? Or even if this person's not new to the team, if this person just like seems a little busy recently, you can say, そういえば仕事どうですか? そういえば, by the way, guy, by the way, man, or by the way, how's work recently? You look busy, right? Another thing you can say is, I just got off a call with a lady from the US the other day. She lives in Tokyo now, and she was saying that she just wants to connect with women more, right? So certain things like 思ったんですけど髪切りましたよね, which means like right here, right? Which means, by the way, I noticed that you got a haircut. That's a really nice haircut, right? You can compliment people like this. Okay, 思ったんですけど is I was thinking, I just noticed that this happened, right? I noticed that you got a haircut. Yone is like, right? Am I wrong? It's kind of that confirmation. And this is a really good way to connect with people. Okay, so it's great. And the question is, this topic actually, how deep you can go, like what can you ask and what not. Is actually the same person that I was talking to yesterday. The lady from who lives in Tokyo asked the same question. So I'm making this part actually for her. So if you're watching this video, yeah, thank you for watching this video. But anyways, how deep can you go, right? In general, Japanese people love it when you ask them about their family. So there's like a lot of things that you can come up with, right? Family, relatives, about their kids and all that. Love it. People love talking about their family in general in Japan. But the question is, again, how deep can you go, right? What are the things that you can't ask? Okay. But first, let's talk about what you can ask, right? Do you have kids? お子さんはいるんですか? This is very common. In the Western world, I notice I've worked in the West, in the US for a few years. I notice that people really don't talk about their families. They're just kind of doing their own thing. They just don't communicate too much, right? But in Japan, it's solely fine to ask them, do you have kids? Or I would even say that you can ask them how many kids do they have, because it's uncommon in Japan to not have kids, right? I think it's more common in the US, for instance, to like not have kids and kind of be, focused on your career. In Japan, if you're like in your 40s or 50s, usually I would say more than 80% of people based on my experience, has kids. Okay, so you can say, how many kids do you have? That's fine. It's not rude or anything. It's okay. Okay, another thing, don't ask me why. This is just what we ask. Okay, was it easy to raise a boy or girl? So a typical family, except for me, I have three brothers. We're all boys, right? Except for us, typical families have like a few girls and a boy, or a few boys and a girl, right? So both son and daughter. You can ask, was it easy to raise your son or your daughter? This is a very common thing to ask, like, especially if you're younger than that person. 息子と娘、どっちが簡単ですか? And they'll be like, yeah, that's a good question. And by asking these questions, it's not about the questions itself. The fact that you ask these questions about their family kind of gives them the impression they're going to be like, yeah, this person kind of knows the drill type of situation, if you know what I mean. So it's a great, strategy. You can ask about family at any time, right? Another thing you can say is like, assuming that they have kids, you can say, are they already working adults? Which actually means we're asking them, do you still live with them, right? もう独立してるんですか? Like, are they out of the house or are they living with you? And again, guys, it's totally fine to ask these questions. Do you live around here? 近くに住んでるんですか? The idea is, in Japan, the idea is because you're going to be spending 8 hours of your day in your office, people tend to want to know more about you. Okay, so it's totally fine to ask these questions. All right, so this is about family. And I also promise you that I'll talk about things to avoid, right? Guys, there's literally nothing. I was going to make this slide and I was going to add something that you can't say, but I talked to a lot of Americans and Europeans, but based on my experience, what you guys do in your country, okay, you all American people and Europeans, what you do in a country, so things that you ask in your country, you can ask here, and you can ask more in Japan. So basically, whatever you do in your country, and more than that, you can go kind of beyond that in Japan. It's totally fine. There aren't really like, and also things that you don't do in your country, just don't do. Like, you don't want to ask people what their salary is, right? Don't talk about money. Don't talk about negative things. Whatever you do in your country is probably the same in Japan. So this part, I'm going to say there's nothing you really want to, like, just common sense, right? This is what I want to say. Okay. Okay, number 3, soft skills when talking. So this is probably the more important part of this video. There are certain rules that you got to follow, guidelines when it comes to communication. Okay, so nodding, right? Do this more frequently. How, right? Nodding, or like words like hai, wakaru. This actually shows respect. In America, where my father is from, okay, interrupting people or like nodding or saying, yeah, I know, right? Like, saying that is kind of, it sounds like you're not listening to the person, right? But in Japan, it shows respect. You can't interrupt a person by saying like, or like, hi, wakaru. That's totally fine. It's actually better to do this. Okay. Number 2, like, how in English you ask the person, really? I really didn't know that, right? The most common one that people know is honto desu ka, or like honto, right? The other word that I recommend is それは知らなかった or それは知らんかった sugoi, which means like, not only does it mean I didn't know that, we're actually saying, which is like, also, this is interesting. You're showing interest. I didn't know that, and therefore that is very interesting. Okay. And this kind of shows empathy. I'm listening to you. I'm engaging with you. I'm kind of, I'm talking to you right now. Talk about it more, right? This is what we're doing here. それは知らなかった. Okay. And excuse me. Another thing is like, what do you mean? Like, there's this time when you don't understand something, right? The thing that you don't want to say is 何と言いましたか? I made it red because you never want to say this. This means, what did you just say? A lot of foreigners do this in Japan. 何と言いましたか? This is a little too direct. The other way that you want to do, the correct way you want to say this is, どういう意味ですか? Like, actually, it looks like this. どういう意味ですか? Like, I want to listen to you. Like, please tell me again. I'm really interested in a topic, but I just didn't understand it, right? So don't be too direct. this becomes less direct. So this is a great way to do it, right? So anyways, guys, those were 3 things that I want to talk about today. And I really hope that by watching this video, you can actually start engaging, start talking to Japanese people, actually connect with people at your workplace. So anyways, if this video helped you, please give it a like and talk about it with friends and family, because guys, repetition is very important when it comes to learning, right? This was Sean Darren reporting from the Nagoya region, and I'll talk to you in our next one. Have a good night. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.